isn't it wonderful to be together again after 2 years of COVID? And it's very exciting. We've got a lovely, exciting program, which I hope you will enjoy. Just a few housekeeping things. Please, could everybody turn their mobile phones off if they've got them on? I don't think we get signal here, but just in case somebody does get a signal. If you've got any questions, we've gone for the Q&A. We've gone very green, and there are pads of paper. If you don't want to particularly put your hand up and ask, please feel free to write your question on a piece of paper. And for those of you who are online, and I know there are altogether 140 people online from around the world, isn't that just wonderful? Please feel free to continue to send your questions in. We will, the team will get back and try and answer every single one of you, but I just have to say they can't comment on individual treatment plans. So that Q&A is after lunch, so there's plenty of time if you have got questions. The other thing you can do if you're here in the audience is in the breakout groups, you can ask your question in the breakout groups. We owe a huge debt of thanks to a number of people here today. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Claire Harrison, who has been instrumental in driving MPN Voice forward. We're also extremely grateful to the team at Hartley Taylor, Julie, Derry, Alex, and Carly. They have been stalwarts in providing all this for us. And what's more, when the train strike was announced, they got everybody organized and kept everybody up to date online with what was happening. It's unfortunate that so many people couldn't get here, but I'm hoping they'll be online. Now, also the speakers. We have Donald McLaunan, who's going to be talking about disease progression. We have Patrick Harrington, who's going to be talking about our COVID research and what's gone on with COVID. We've got Mary Francis and Megan Laird talking about the doctor-patient experience. We've got Adam Mead talking about clinical trials. And then we're so lucky, we have Ruben Mesa over from America going to talk to us about MPN and his journey with MPN. We have two notable absentees, and I'm sorry to say, my co-chair, John Mathias, is self-isolating this weekend, so he's not here. And Claire Woodley is also unwell, so she's not here. But anyway, welcome to you all. Now, I know a lot of you have seen the slides of MPN Voice, and it's not moving. Ah, here we are. Okay. So what do? We provide a lot of information on the web. This isn't the first slide. I don't know what's going wrong here. You're back. Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. There was a little bit of a technical hitch there. As many of you know, MPN Voice started in 2003, and it was really because there was such a lack of information, and it was really important for patients to get accurate information. It started with a group from St. Thomas's with Claire and the psychologists and the clinical nurses. And we've evolved from then. And as we know now, that little group, I remember being in a little group at St. Thomas's, 8 of us. And I once said to Claire about this, recently, here we are now, we were a little oak tree. And Claire said to me, we're now a great big global forest, which is great to see. So we support the patients. It's not, okay. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a problem here. Okay. When COVID started, we had to restructure our team. And there's myself and Tim, who is our Chief Financial Officer, Claire and John, who are the executive committee. But I want to allude to all these people on the management committee, the clinical advisory committee, the fundraising committee. There's an army of volunteers. You are our unsung heroes, because we put a call out at the beginning of COVID for help, and people have come forward, and we wouldn't be where we are today without the army of unsung heroes. Okay. So what do we do? The most important thing is providing accurate information. We do virtual forums and webinars, health and well-being support and information, and in particular, a series of podcasts specifically for MPN patients. We've been conducting a lot of surveys, and particularly during the COVID pandemic, and those will be talked about during the course of today. Okay. So we are also, I'm going to skip through this because the coronavirus, Patrick Harrington's going to talk about this in his talk. I'm just having trouble with the clicker. Okay, this is exciting. This is all the things that we do. We have Health Unlocked. We have Alice, our young patient, and her vlog. I have to say, if you haven't seen the website, please keep up to date with the website, because it actually keeps up to date with the latest information and with links to how you can get support. We also have booklets which are on the table outside, and we have social media. Mark Taylor, who's newly helping us with this, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, you can find out what's going on with MPN, which is a huge difference from where we were. And the YouTube channel is well worth watching, because we keep that up to date. I don't know if you've seen them, I do some, during COVID, it started doing some vlogcasts, talking to members of the community, so that we're all joined up. We also do buddy support. You know, that's key. With buddies, and I remember I was diagnosed with an MPN in 1991. There weren't buddies around then, but it actually is really important. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling confused, frightened by a recent diagnosis, I think it's really important. Contact MPN Voice, and Maz, the wonderful Maz, will link you up with a buddy. She will also put you in, and buddies have been diagnosed for a minimum of 2 years. There's another thing that was donated to us, these little cards, which Maz has got on the table outside. These are medical alerts. So if for any unforeseen reason, God forbid, you're in an accident, if you've got it on you, at least when you get to A&E, the doctors can see what medication you're on and who your consultant is. The patient forums, do you know, this is just such a joy, as I say, to be with you all. And it was great to start off being face-to-face again this year in Cork. And then we've been in Chester and Newcastle, and we're in Cardiff in December. We're also doing a lot of online forums, which is fantastic. Webinars that are done on a regular basis. And so, in fact, there's one on Tuesday, which is on stem cell transplants, which will be really, really interesting. So if you feel like it, 4:30 till 6 on Tuesday is our next webinar. I think that the community that we're reaching out to now, which is global, is getting the best up-to-date information from the team. And we have to say thank you to the doctors. Health Unlocked, for instance, is monitored. So all the information you see on Health Unlocked is accurate. Anything that isn't gets taken down. Research. This is key, really key. And I think as patients, the more research is done, the more that we will hope find better medication and a chance of having some sort of cure, hopefully. And I'm not going to talk too much about this because Professor Adam Mead is going to talk about this afternoon. But what we support at MPN Voice is mithridate, which is an ongoing study, which he will talk about. I had a chat with him last night, actually, so I'm not going to talk too much about the research. The mascot, the mascot registry, and I think that's a very, very important one. The other one that's really, really key to a lot of patients' hearts is the MOSAIC study, the epidemiology study. You will now see that there are sites open. Now, the research that's already taken place is actually being fed to the medical community. It's being processed, and we are keeping everybody up to date, keep up to date on the website with what's going on. I think that we've invested a lot of money in the MOSAIC study because it's what the patients wanted, and it's what I think the medical profession want. So I'm really pleased to see that we've now got Cork open. We've got lots of sites. There are a few more sites to open, but once it's fully operational, we will get a lot of research. Advocacy. This is also another area of what MPN Voice do, which is so important. It's having a voice with the decision-making processes with drugs. It's about being represented and having pharma companies listening to what the patient's needs are. There's a lot of an international community that communicate the whole time. The wonderful thing that's happened is that technology now means that people can communicate at the push of a button, which is absolutely great, which means the information comes very quickly. Now, recently, this is hot off the press. Recently, MPN Voice did a online survey to see what the patients wanted and what from MPN Voice. We were absolutely amazed. 700 people came back. There was a limited time frame to get the results back. But actually, just look at the global response. It is just amazing how many people have contributed to that. One of the things that's come out of that is the need for an app, a need for our own MPN Voice app that is going to be state-of-the-art, tracker of your medical conditions, and hopefully links to MPN Voice website and things like that in future. So that is what one of our big projects is going to be this year, is working on, or beginning this year, is working on developing the app. The other one is, because there's been the wonderful Alice and her cookbook that is for sale outside with Maz, there's been a need for a young patients forum. And this we are really going to put forward and move forward and hope to do sometime next year, because it really is an unmet need where there are so many younger people being diagnosed. And that is that, as far as I'm concerned. Welcome, enjoy the day. And I will now introduce our first speaker, Dr. Nona Baker, who's going to talk about
prognosis and transformation.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.